When it comes to the universe's finest super soldiers, we all know they're packing some serious muscle. I mean, they've got to. How else would they fight through swarms of foul heretics and knock out those ever so pesky space journalists?
Is that the best?
I've had enough of your tabloid journalism.
Ha! You want some?
But out of all of these spacefaring elite troopers, who is the strongest? Which is imbued with the most raw physical strength? Well, join us today as we look at who can bench the most, who has the biggest biceps, and who would win in a good old-fashioned arm wrestle. But first, we should probably outline some criteria. Now, this video won't be scientific in the strictest sense. After all, digging up accurate stats on our contenders' bench presses and bicep curls across various galaxies can get a bit tricky, and let's not even get started on the differences in gravity from planet to planet. But for the sakes of this contest, and the contenders' safety, we're sticking to the heavy hitters. There won't be any ODSTs or Helldivers, no matter how many automatons they've liberated from their bodies. We're looking at those who have undergone significant enhancements. We're talking gene therapy, cybernetics, even entire new organs. We're on the hunt for strength beyond the grasp of mere mortals. In our first round is none other than the UNSC's finest, the Spartans. Originally created to pacify colonial rebellions, these armoured elite warriors soon found themselves battling a vast alien empire. To aid them in this war among the stars, they were enhanced with a suite of cybernetic and biomechanical augmentations. Their bones were reinforced with nearly unbreakable material, muscles were injected with a protein complex to increase density and recovery speed, and a thyroid implant was used to boost skeletal and muscular growth. But what does that mean in raw strength? Well, Spartans can lift over 3 times their body weight. They've been known to stop a brute's gravity hammer with one hand, take down Special Ops Sangheli and Jiral Hanai in a single strike, and even go toe-to-toe with hunters, tearing out the Lekgolo worms that form their freaky, slithering bodies. And if that wasn't impressive enough, they've been seen lifting mongoose quad bikes weighing around 900 pounds or 410 kilograms, and promptly battering their enemies with them. Going up against the Spartans in this competition of strength are the clone troopers. Now at first you might think, hang on, these bucketheads aren't super soldiers, they're little more than mass-produced cannon fodder. And yes, while they may not have been graced with the cybernetics and biomechanical augmentations of the Spartans, these clone troopers have been enhanced via something else. Gene therapy, using the genetic code of skilled Mandalorian bounty hunter Jango Fett, and intense physical training throughout their accelerated childhood, these soldiers have been engineered to reach the absolute peak of human capability. What's more is that the Kaminoan cloners also augmented the clones' genomes, giving them a greater lung capacity, improved stamina, faster recovery time, and more fast-twitch muscle fibers, enabling for greater bursts of strength over a shorter time, meaning a clone can easily carry twice his own weight, lift injured comrades to safety, lug astromechs weighing around 32 kilograms or 70 pounds around, all while wearing their armor, which itself weighs 40 kilograms or 88 pounds. But while that all may be impressive, we're gonna have to give round 1 to the Spartans, and it's not even really close. Kicking us off for round 2, we have the legendary Commander Shephard, representing the finest the Systems Alliance has to offer. Now, as an Alliance soldier, Shephard already would have received some degree of gene therapy. However, under Citadel regulations, these enhancements would have been limited, used mainly to correct flaws such as nearsightedness. But after Shephard's untimely demise, the pro-human group Cerberus brought them back through Project Lazarus, reconstructing their skin, skeleton, and restarting their internal organs via cutting-edge technology. Following this revival, Shephard can also receive additional cybernetic upgrades to their enhanced form, including a heavy bone weave, reinforcing their skeleton with a synthetic lattice, making their bones nearly unbreakable. Heavy muscle microfiber weaves increased strength and reduced muscle damage, while a skin weave fortified Shephard's skin with synthetic fibers, drastically reducing damage from attacks. As for feats of strength, Shephard can be seen wrestling the formidable Shadow Broker, a member of the towering and ferocious Yarg species. They can also headbutt a Krogan hard enough to make the brute stagger, and fire the Widow sniper rifle, known for its bone-shattering recoil typically only used by Krogan, all pointing to Shephard being preternaturally strong for a mere human. Facing off against Commander Shephard are the Emperor of Mankind's Angels of Death, the Adeptus Astartes. Genetically engineered and surgically augmented, these battle brothers were enhanced at a young age via the implementation of a number of gene seed organs. Most crucially for this contest, the Bisopia was a small implant placed in the chest cavity, which amplified muscle mass and strength across the Astartes frame, while the Osmodula placed in the pituitary gland secreted a human growth hormone which altered their bone structure, making the bones tougher, increasing the Astartes' height to anywhere between 7.5 feet to 10 feet tall. When it comes to feats of strength, Space Marines in power armor have been seen backhanding 200-kilogram humans, decapitating them in the process and sending them flying. They've also been seen clambering onto tanks and ripping them open as if they were made of paper. Even without armor, there are stories of naked, critically injured Space Marines ripping open spaceship bulkheads and bludgeoning whole squads of Tau warriors with their own guns. Stat-wise though, it's a bit tricky, since accounts of a Space Marine's true strength do vary greatly, but it's been said they can overhead press 380 kilograms or 838 pounds, around the same weight as a particularly light polar bear, and they can also bicep curl weights measuring around 70 kilograms or 154 pounds, around the same weight as a beer keg, quite useful for those in the Space Wolves chapter. Now given a Space Marine can practically lift 2 Commander Shephards over their head with ease, this is again hardly a contest. Which means in our final it all comes down to the Adeptus Astartes and the Spartan, one-on-one in an arm wrestle. Picture the two sitting across from each other, knuckles cracking, the table creaking under the weight of these two behemoths. The Spartan, with their incredible enhanced strength and unmatched combat training, locks helmet visor to helmet visor with the Adeptus Astartes, muscles tense, and after a great deal of effort, the Astartes pins the Spartan's arm to the table, winning a competition that, at first, I thought was going to be a lot more overwhelmingly in favour of the Astartes, but when comparing documented stats and trackable strength feats, their lifting capacities were closer than anticipated. However, the Astartes' untrackable feats, things we couldn't get a gauge on weight-wise, like ripping the heads off giant mechanical foes and tearing apart ships with ease, we felt it would be heresy to not give this one to the Astartes, thus bringing a close to this completely scientific experiment. Do you agree with our victor? Is there anybody else you'd like to see in the ring? Make sure to let us know down in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to join us again soon. Until then, catch you next time.
The Lore Tours Spaceport is your destination for tours through the most fascinating worlds, groups, and events in the multiverse. From sci-fi to fantasy, we have it all. So make sure to subscribe and book your next trip with us.